Hello, everyone. Today is an exciting day, the FlipTree launch. Wow, this has been in the making. Guys, you're going to hear the whole backstory, but this has been many months of intense labor to pull off and get us to this big day. I am Amelia Henderson, the communications manager here at FlipTree, and this is a project I solely believe in because not only is it like you have to be on any service app. There are so many service-based apps out there, but this project is one that goes beyond just connecting contract workers or freelance workers or people just looking for a way to make extra cash. It goes well beyond connecting those people with someone simply trying to hire for help. The whole focus of FlipTree is community, and I'm gonna bring in our CEO Victor to kind of show you and connect the dots of community and why it is so important to FlipTree. And hopefully you can see yourself and join us. So I'm going to bring him in. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how excited are you today? This is your baby. How many months, how many years has this been?
So I am super excited. We are all super excited for this day. As you said, this has been in the works for quite some time. Now, if you ask me about the beginning of the journey, it started probably 2, 3 years ago. But again, it was something that I felt like I felt the sense of purpose. But again, 3 years ago, I did not know what to do with it, right? So I lacked clarity at that point, but I had this thing in the back of my mind. But over time, I got more, the picture became more and more clear. And then last year, November, so I made the big, leap. So I left my corporate life and then I decided to pursue this. So
Wait a
there,
minute. You left a corporate life? Now, I know there were people probably looked at you like you were crazy. You left a corporate life to start this, follow purpose. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting you asked that question, right? So my dad always, used to tell me that the goal of your life is to find out the purpose and pursue it, right? But again, it's very abstract. You have to know what that is. So I had this thought in my mind, and then I talked to my girlfriend, and who's my wife now, Chastity. I said, you know, I feel like I should do something that justifies my existence. Why do I even exist, right? So I started there, but over time, I realized that, and the life in corporate world was great, fantastic. I cannot complain. I was in the financial service industry, in banking. Before that, in management consulting, everything was great, right? Exciting, fun stuff. But this thing was always, lingering in the back of my brain. And then last year, I and Chelsea, we went on a trip to Europe, and then we saw something unbelievable there. We saw people in different culture, right? And then talking and living in unison, even though different language, different food, different culture. But for us, when we look at it, it's just one big community. That's when I got the sense of the community because, and right before that, I kind of wrote a vision statement. What I wrote about was mostly around trust, right? It's just that one word. I wrote something, but again, I never thought where it is going to, lead me to. And
Wow.
then over time, we, went to this trip. I came back, and Chastity has been always telling me that I should quit my job. I should leave, right? So
Really?
her thinking was there is no way you can do something you're passionate about as part time. So step one is we do the thing which will help you clear your mind, right? So I took a step back. So I said bye to my corporate life, and people are wondering like, okay, where am I going? Do you have any job lined up? Am I interviewing? The answer to all these questions were no, and that's when, to your point, people thought I'm crazy. But what I essentially did was I spent almost 2 months, looking at life, right? I know I took a step back. I wanted to, get clarity, and to get clarity, the last thing you want to have is distraction.
Right.
So I used to live in uptown. Then I moved to Matthews. From there, I moved to Indian Trail. So 2 months, I'm thinking and thinking, and slowly started formulating. And one of the things I believe is that we have to have a clear sense of why, on what we are doing. So I met a few friends in Matthews, and we started talking. I said, well, you know, now I'm full into this. So let's do something about it. But before we do anything, let's be very clear on why we are doing it, right? So I said, I have the reasoning behind it. I wrote something. This is why I'm trying to pursue it. But as a team, we have to come on board with that, and then let's be let's add some bells and whistles around it and be very clear. You know, and I what I told them is that if it takes 5 months, 6 months to clear, to be clear about that vision, so be it, because that is going to be the fuel to whatever we are going to do, right? So we spend a
Right.
lot of time, yeah, till I think from October, November till I think February, we spend time just writing the vision statement. That's what you will see in our website under the section lens. And what I believe in is that that vision statement is something that should help us blend in. We are not doing anything rocket science.
Right.
Our focus is totally into the community, because I'm coming from a village back in India. So community means a lot to me. And my thinking was everything we do has to help the community, uplift the community in whatever capacity, right?
Right.
So
You're setting me up for something I want us to get to. Now, everyone can look into the corner here and you see the FlipTree logo, which is a tree.
that's right.
And so tell us what exactly does that mean? How does that tie into the whole goal of FlipTree being community oriented and building a stronger community?
Yeah, it's essentially the tree upside down, right? If you look at the logo, so so in our world, flip tree represents the current state of the world. You know, tree upside down, where we feel that there are challenges in the world, where we need to address them. Until and unless we sort them out, the tree will remain upside down. And tree doesn't feel good when it is upside down because its roots are in the air, right?
Right, right.
So our goal is, and in our simplistic view, that tree represents the community, and upside down tree means the community itself is upside down. So that means the community is not in its natural constitutional position, right? So the goal is to flip the flipped tree one more time, so then the tree is straight. Everybody's happy. So that's one angle to it. Another angle is, as I said, tree is the community. Every leaf in a rice represents an individual in a community. It's very important, right? Because, and if you look at a tree, it is very much possible that, you know, most of the leaves are green in color, and some of them are yellow.
Mhm.
So if you look at it holistically from outside, you cannot say that the tree is healthy because there are some leaves which are not green.
Right.
So if you ask the leaf that is green, are you healthy? That leaf might say, yes, I'm healthy. But overall, the system is not healthy. So put that in context in a community, right? So let's say 99% of the folks in a community are well off. Even if there is only one person that is not doing well, it impacts everyone, whether we realize it or not, right? So the goal is how can we turn that leaf that is yellow back to green? That's
And
where
so
that's
then
where
how does FlipTree tie into that? How does FlipTree get those yellow leaves green? How does it build up our brothers and sisters in the community that, they may be on hard times or things aren't going as well for them as they are, a neighbor 2 doors down? How does FlipTree tie into that?
so the way in which we look at flip tree, right? So it goes back to that one word, trust, right? So that is one thing I've been observing all along, is that our we kind of shy away from trusting people, right? So when I look at a child, let's say 2-year-old child, seeing is believing. Life is so easy, life is not complicated, and the child is happy. Even if the child falls down, the child is
Mhm.
not angry at anyone, right? The child, picks himself or herself up and then happy. But as we get older, what I found is that our willingness to trust, it diminishes. By design, we are designed to trust anything and everything and everyone. But as we get older, somehow that willingness starts disappearing, and then we become extremely unwilling, right? It's two different extremes. But on the other side, so what I say is that it's not our inability to trust. It's our unwillingness. So that is where it makes life, very difficult, right? When we have a conversation, we're always thinking and judging people. So my thinking was the first step towards building a great community is giving people reason to trust each other, right? And and don't give them any excuse to shy away from it. Step one towards that is make people talk to each other,
Right.
right? And then let them talk more and more, and over time that conversation builds trust, right? You and me, we don't know each other, we start talking. First is connecting, then we start talking. So you get to know me, I get to know you. Over time, you know me that I'm Vijay, I know that you're Amelia. It's a happy conversation, right? We
Right.
build the trust, so we expand it in a community setting. Over time, you're looking at a harmonious society where everybody knows each other. That means the our unwillingness to trust slowly disappears, right? Harmony builds, and we look after each other. I wrote something. You and me, we don't know each other.
You know what? My phone just went off. Sorry.
That's all
Um,
right. Yeah. So I mean, that's where it's. I mean, that's the starting point. Now let's put that in the context of FlipTree, right? So as I said before, what we have built in the app is not rocket science. But what makes it unique is the app anchors every person to that person's community, right? So in other words, what we draw a circle around every person in the app once you sign up, which means we are drawing a community around you, right? That means, anything you need, we basically build this, there is a vehicle for you to find it within the community. So I need somebody to help me fix my, the kitchen, cabinet.
mhm.
I can find the person within my community. I'm not going outside, within my community, and then I'll find that person through the app. The app does everything in the sense scheduling, payment, processing, rescheduling, everything it does from a, so you have no reasons to get out of the app. So it does everything. But the bigger thing is that, I hired the person came to my place, we talked. That's a big starting point, right? And then he helped me out. The next time I have a similar issue, I already know the person.
Right.
I don't have to go and fish again. He might not be available immediately, but I will say, "Hey, Jeff, can you, swing by? I'm having this issue in my kitchen." So he will. So now, if you extrapolate it, right, that one conversation within a community, we are very close to each other. The only thing is that I did not know Jeff, and Jeff did not know me. Now, if you put that in a neighborhood perspective, Jeff might be my neighbor. I never knew that Jeff knew how to fix kitchen sink.
Right. Right.
Jeff did not know that I need my kitchen sink to be fixed. The app built that connection. Now, over time, right? So let's say this kind of connection and conversations are happening over time. Think about what's happening to the community, right? More and more people are getting to know each other,
Right. You need to
right?
talk, to know each other.
That's right. And in that context, there is no FlipTree app. So the app at that in that context is a vehicle for people to get to that point where everybody knows everyone, right? So that is one community. Now think about this happening in every other community, right? So that's where even the revenue model, everything we built, the objective is to give people reason to know each other, build connections, build relationship, and trust each other. So anything that will be a barrier to have that model work, we have eliminated it. So that's where the revenue model comes, right? There is no advertising in FlipTree app, right? So there is no advertising fee. So we call it neutral listing. So I'm a plumber, who does this thing. I will go register myself, right? What FlipTree does is that it'll charge me a monthly subscription of $9.99. And for the launch, what we have done is everybody who signs up till by end of this year, they will get free trial till end of March next year, right? So $9.99 is my, fixed cost. Now it's up to me to do more job and make more money, right? So if you think about me as a person who wants to start a business, right? So let's say plumbing, whatever it is, so let's say, baking. So if I want to start a business, first thing I'm thinking about is my initial capital, right? Maybe I need to rent that place, or I need to buy X, Y, and Z. I need to do marketing, right? So there are
Right.
so many, initial costs. I need to put my brand out there, buying the whole initial capital. What FlipTree does is my initial capital to start myself as a plumber is $0, right? My initial capital is $0. Now let's think about the operating cost. What FlipTree does is my operating cost is $9.99. That's it. Now put that in perspective, right? If I'm on my own, the amount of fees I have to pay for advertising, for the other, marketing purposes, payment processing, I need to, and
It all adds
branding,
up. Yeah.
it adds up, right? So that's where, what we did was we will never do advertising. There will never be advertising fee. So there is no advertising fee. No job leads. So that's one thing we found out is that, people charge, the service providers for job leads. And the interesting thing is that it is not necessary that the lead will translate into a real hire. We don't do that. So there is no job lead fee. So you're already there in the app, and the customer sees you. They'll go and, they can see the review, go there. If they want to hire you, they'll go and immediately set up an appointment. The calendar thing, everything is set up in the app. And think about me as I'm a plumber and I love to do carpentry. I can be a jack of all trades. I can be doing 10 different things in the app. Still, my cost is only $9.99.
And let me say, that's what I love about FlipTree because, with COVID and when it initially popped off and people were told, you're not an essential worker, you got to stay home. And so many people went on unemployment. Imagine an app like this being around then. You could sign up to be, if you have plumbing skills, if you have computer tech skills, you could sign up for as many possible. And maybe this industry was kind of slow. Okay, well, that's slow. I can make some extra money on this side. That's what I like about it. It gives people the power over how much they earn and how they earn it. It gives them the power over their schedules. So like I've already signed up as a service provider because I can see the benefits of getting in front of your neighbors and getting your skills and your talents, out there to the masses. Tell me this, FlipTree, right? You're telling me how you can sign
Right.
up to be a service provider and all of that. How do you see this being beneficial to someone that has signed up as a service provider?
So, number one thing is that I believe everybody has got something to offer.
Right.
Everybody, right? It's very much possible that even the person won't know that, right? So, what is the first thing to do? Remove all kind of excuses, right? So give the platform where you can go and, the platform will make you think, well, I can do that, well, I can do this, right? So that's where what the platform we built is very scalable, right? We have around 12, major categories of services. Underneath that, we have several subcategories. And if a service provider thinks that we are missing something in the app, they can let us know and we'll add it,
Wow.
right? So that is where we want to have that dialogue. So when you talk about a service provider, so my thinking is that you're right with COVID, the economic situations. So it's getting difficult, for people. And I think the way in which we have designed this app, and the app structure was designed even before COVID, right?
Right,
The
right.
revenue model, everything, so nothing changed, but we feel like the way in which we have, the composition of the app and the structure and the processing, it actually helps people even better. And more importantly, what we do in the app is, let's say I'm a service provider and you're the customer, you hired me.
Hmm.
We do daily payouts.
Oh, great. So there's
It's
no
very
long wait
important.
times.
We
Wow.
don't keep any money in house, right? So the payment processing company we partnered with, it's already set to daily payout. So you pay me today, everything is done through the app, right? So it will reach my bank account tomorrow night, and I can withdraw it day after tomorrow. It's all automated, right? So our thinking was, why should we keep it? Why should we keep it and delay it? A person who worked hard needs the money. So our goal is to make it available, as soon as possible, right? So that is so immediate access to funds, very very important. Number two is that the cost, as I talked about, we eliminate all the cost, right? It's all pretty much, and there is no commission. We don't charge any commission. So if a
And you
customer,
don't charge the users. I know some service-based apps, they'll tax the cost onto what a client would pay. There's none of that either, right?
no, customers pay nothing. Service providers, after the trial period, they pay $9.99. And then when you process a credit card, the Visa, MasterCard, American Express, so that's normal card processing fee. There is nothing else. So if I summarize it, customers pay no fee. Service providers, no advertising fee, no job lead fee, no commission, and daily, and then we do daily payouts, right? So, and you can do any number of services, and your cost is still the same, right? Now, I forgot to tell you, there is no contract. There is
Oh,
no contract. So, so this is where I have to bring in my wife's thought process, because she was calling a company a few months ago to cancel her membership because the
hmm.
website cannot see it. You cannot see it in the website. You go click on one link to another link to another link. Finally, she called know the customer service department. 45 minutes. She had to be on hold.
They
And then
make it so difficult.
that's right. So what we did is that so one of the things we decided in July was, let's not make it difficult. So instead of, we initially thought of building a website too, but we to put everything we have in the app in the website mode. So we have a website, but the app functionality is only in the app, right? Now when it comes to cancellation, what we did is that under subscription there is one button. If you want to cancel it, you click it, cancel. It is immediate. So, my Chasity's point of view was, if a service provider want to cancel a subscription, we should make it easier. We should make it easy. Why, make it extremely difficult, right? So the interesting thing is that if you cancel it, it is canceled immediately.
Hmm.
There is no such thing as you wait till end of the billing cycle. No, because my thinking is, if I want to cancel, I would rather have immediate cancellation. So we designed the app in such a way that I, as a user, would love to use it. Ads is the main. The other thing is the advertising, right? I I would rather hear people feedback, review comments. I rely on that because I know that person lives in my community, right? So I listen to that person's review, read it, and then make a hiring decision rather than go through advertisement. Because one of the things I thought was, the moment we plug in advertisement, we make the platform uneven, right? Let's say there are two people in the community, you know, doing the same job. One doesn't have the money to do advertising, and the other has. The other person always have an edge, regardless of the quality of the work. So how can we make it equal? Always, how can we normalize it? We took it out, right? So back to your question, cost is extremely important. It's that 9.99. Number two is this accessibility to funds. Number three, there is no contract, and the app does the marketing for you. You're there. Everybody starts with a 5-star rating, right? And then it's up to you to stay there. We do
Right.
not get into that. And then when it comes to processing payments, a lot of times you have a Square card reader, something and then you pay them extra money. The app does everything. So, long story short, at the end of the year, app even sends you a 1099 form. You don't have to do any of those.
So that's a seamless process.
Right. And the other thing I found out interesting is that when a customer, this is where transparency is important for us. What I found in a lot of other apps is that customer pays X, service provider gets Y. The service provider doesn't know the X, what customer actually paid, right? So the service provider might think that, well, I got a good pay, but the customer might have paid way more. So what we did is that in our receipt we will send two receipts at the end of a transaction. The customer will get a receipt with the X amount, and service provider will get the other receipt where the service provider can see exactly how much the customer paid. So the
So
X,
FlipTree helps the service provider be in charge of how much they make, their payments, and as far as their scheduling as well. So the
right?
service provider keeps a lot of that freedom and that power.
That's right. That's right. So it's interesting you mentioned that we do not get into the pricing business. So if I'm a plumber and then I want to, when I set up my profile, I will set the price. FlipTree will never tell what I should charge for my service. It's the hourly rate, right? And the reason in FlipTree we think we did it that way is that there is no such thing as the right price. So this is where we start. We basically let the free market principles flow in. So service provider A charges $100, service provider B charges $50. The right price is somewhere in between. Over time, it will adjust, right? So instead of FlipTrade dictating, this is what you should charge, this is what the market is saying. Our thinking was, we are no expert to tell a service provider this is what you should charge, because it is very much possible that the service provider might think that high quality service, it's premium service, it's worth $100. Then you
Right,
charge
right.
$100. And in the app, you set up the work hours available. So if you're working only 3 days a week, you can actually set those days. Then you can even set the work hours, right? Let's say 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. You do that. So basically, calendar management. So that way, you don't have to tell people that, well, I don't work on Mondays through Fridays every time. If you and I can do a targeted search as a customer. So I go there, I'm searching for Friday. I will only see people who are available on Friday. So
Now, you mentioned earlier that FlipTree has a number of services that a person can sign up for to be a service provider. And if they don't see that service, like let's say you play the trombone and you want to do trombone lessons. If you don't see that in the app, you can request to have that added.
yes.
Now, for people that may have skills and they're not really sure they have skills that are totally marketable, what are some other categories that are in the FlipTree app right now? Perhaps someone that's joined us, they want to, maybe they need to hire someone around the house to help with, odds and ends, or help someone to help with their personal businesses. What type of categories are already live in the app today? If you
So
go to
right
Google
now,
Play right now, what is in there?
we have so so let me open the app. So we have automotive. So anything related to the cars or vehicles, those kind of services we have. And we have, so everything is keyword driven. So we have different subcategories. You can pick to select keywords. We have caregiving. So for senior care, right? So to help them out, if you want to sit with, a senior person at home, help that person out. Cooking classes, which is
Ooh,
an
sign me
area.
up.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of cooking, cuisines in the app. You just sign up, right? And then education, tutoring, all kinds of
Well,
tutoring,
that's a biggie right now.
right? Then there is electronics, appliance repair, computer repair, stuff like that. Then we have entertainment, you know, if you're trying to hire a comedian, if you want to do an event or a promotion, if you want to do catering, party planning, you know. Then we have health and beauty, like haircut. I mean, the barber can come to your house, right? So then the makeup, personal training, tailoring. Then home, that is huge. We have assembly and installation, bathroom, carpentry, handyman, anything and everything you can think of, right? Fitness equipment,
Wow.
flooring, gutters. Then we have landscaping. So, mowing, mulching, pools, gardening, pets. We have boarding, daycare, grooming, sitting, training, professional services like a person with, like you with your skills, advertising and marketing, app development, right? Promotions, micro weddings. I had a micro wedding, right, in
A
July.
lot of people are having micro weddings.
Yeah. So basically, you sign up so people can see you, and we saved a lot of money, right? In a micro wedding, and it was intimate. We enjoyed it, right? Why spend a lot of money on wedding, right? So micro weddings is what they're.
So someone can go into the app, like let's say you are an event planner, you can sign up now to provide micro weddings. Or if you're a couple and you're not going to have the 200-person wedding in December because of COVID, you can
Right.
sign up to find these wedding planners that are offering specific micro weddings. I love that. It's
Yeah.
one app for service providers and one app for the users.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot. So before I answer that, we have sports coaching too, right? You can go there. You can do any kind of sports. So you're right. It's just one app. Why? We have seen instances where service providers will have one app,
Mhm.
customers will have one app. So two different apps. We have only one app. So when you log in, you by design sign up as a customer, and it's up to you whether you want to convert that into a service provider. So either you're a customer or you're a customer and service provider. It is just one app, and there is a toggle at the top of the homepage where you click on it, you basically switch the role. It's just like turning your hat. From a customer, you immediately become a service provider because think about it, right? Even if I'm a service provider, I might need something,
Right.
right? So that is one thing. The other thing interesting about the app is based on the location. At the top of the app in the homepage, you will see the name of your community. Like when I sign up, right, it'll show at the top our community of Indian Trail, North Carolina. The larger question is why did we do that? Because that is us telling the users that you everything you're doing is going to be anchored on around your community, right? So if anybody signs up from a Charlotte address, they will see our community of Charlotte, North Carolina, right? The word community extremely important. The town name pretty much fences it, and then state. So it makes you feel that okay, so I am doing a lot of things for my community, and you push that message out. Each and every community getting better and better. So so you think about it in a global scale, right? Making self-sustaining, trusted communities that message across the world, it makes a huge difference, right? So, and what we did in the app is you can only sign up as an individual. Now, people ask me, why do you do that? And our verification, on
Mhm.
people who sign up as service providers. But at the end of the day, this is for Amelia or this is for Vijay, right? We are real people, right? So I find the person. In fact, I can even talk to the person through the app. We can chat. That is already plugged in, right? So it is one-to-one relationship we are building,
Mhm.
right? So that's where this whole ecosystem comes up, where over time we're building micro economies. So that's what we filed for patent. So our entire patent paper was around building self-sustaining, trusted microeconomies. Where so in a larger context, let's say there are three people, Amelia, Vijay, and Jeff. Amelia needs something, I have it, a transaction happens. And then I need something, Jeff has it, a transaction happens. Jeff needs something, Amelia, Jeff needs something, Amelia has it, transaction happens. Right? So there is a match of in economic terms, supply and demand are constantly getting met. So in this small economy or simplified economy of three people, transactions are happening between three people. That means money is moving, services are getting done, economy is doing great,
Right. I love that.
right? So yeah, and then you expand it. So that's where our simplistic view is we look at the entire globe, but then instead of boiling the ocean, we go to the grassroots level, right? And the individual unit in this whole equation is a person. You start with the person and let it organically grow, right? So just like the leaf, one leaf is getting healthy, right, in the tree, and then other leaves slowly get healthy. Then the tree gets, totally green, and then there are other trees which get green. So over time, the entire forest looks green.
That's beautiful. Love that.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it.
That's how you look at it. Well, I think that it couldn't have come at a perfect time because I just know in my personal life, I've been in my neighborhood 7 years now, maybe a little longer. And it wasn't until we all were forced to pretty much be in our own little tight little communities that there were people I even didn't even know lived near me. There were so many children in the neighborhood. I had no idea that were there. I guess we were always, going and coming in different directions. So I like the idea that this app is building a community that basically, you need something, I got it. Let's team up and figure out how we can make this thing work. That's what I love about it. Because you don't know what the person next door is going through. You don't know if they lost a job or if they are, like you, trying to follow purpose. And they are trying to figure out ways to make that purpose come to fruition. And FlipTree does that because it caters to the individual. It caters to people from all walks of life, and connects them through services. I love that. It's available for download, Google Play, App Store. You said $9.99 for service providers. You can sign up for as many services as you want for that one $9.99, right? I'm saying
That's
that
right.
right.
That's right. And people who sign up till before December 31st till
Your way.
end of March, they have free trial. Normally it is 30-day free trial, but because we are launching it, we are excited. This is our community, right? So we are launching, in our community. So let people use it, and we would love to welcome hear feedback. We just started, right? We are all
Yeah.
excited. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, I mean, the biggest satisfaction will be when it comes to use to a person who's in need. That makes me feel emotional about it because yes, now things make sense. What I do makes sense. It helps me justify my own very existence. So it's very important. So that's what I tell people that this is the time we need. So we have been working. I rarely sleep nowadays because my ask for my team was we have to get this thing out because people need help. Anything and everything we can do, we should do that. So yeah, here we are, and and things happen for a reason. I believe in that.
Right.
Just because
Right.
we don't know the reason doesn't mean that there is no reason. The only way you can figure that out is by giving time to do its job. When you give time to do its job, and when you look back in time, when you connect the dots, not only that it makes sense, it makes a beautiful string or necklace, whatever you call it, because there is no such thing as bad thing. It is just the time you give time do its job, you realize that everything was great. So that's how I see it in the sense in the flip tree, the journey. 3 years ago, I had this spark. I did not know what to do with it, but now here we are. There's an app.
Here we are. There, and like you said, there's a reason for everything. I believe there is a season for everything, and this is a
That's right.
season for Flip Tree. So we're gonna turn those trees up, people. So download the app, Google Play. It's in the App Store, free downloads. Be sure to like us on Facebook. and Instagram. Share with your friends, share with your family. We'll be jumping back in periodically just to give you updates and show you more behind the scenes. You mentioned that there's a good video that's going. We're working on a video to basically show you how to use the app. So we'll be posting
Right.
that shortly. So keep a lookout for that. Just basically to walk you through from both point of views, if you're a service provider or if you are a user looking to hire someone to help you with, you know, things around the house, things with your car, getting your makeup done, whatever you're looking for. We're connecting you with service providers that live the closest to you. So it's basically boosting up your neighborhood. So look out for that. Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Again, I'm Amelia, and this is Vishtif, our CEO of FlipTree. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.